I closed the file on the laptop and went out onto the balcony, lit a cigarette, and stared out at the empty street. I knew it would be hard to bring myself to print out the novel, that I would put off that singular moment as long as I could. But then, with a click, my novel would be born. It would come out into the light, suddenly transformed from the hypothetical text composed in my imagination into a finished, tangible thing with a real and independent existence. The moment of clicking on the print button always gave rise to strange and powerful ambivalence, a combination of self-satisfaction, gloom, and anxiety. Self-satisfaction for having finished writing the book, gloom because taking my leave of the characters has the same effect on me as when a group of friends have to depart, and anxiety, perhaps because I am on the verge of delivering up into other people's hands something that I treasure. It will be the same with my daughter, for as happy as I shall be at her wedding, the thought that I am no longer her everything as I deliver her into another man's hands will rip me apart. I got up to make another cup of coffee, but no sooner had I stepped into the kitchen than, lo, another surprise. I could hear footsteps. I could not believe my ears. I ignored the sound and busied myself with the coffee, but the sound was getting clearer and louder. I cocked my head to focus my hearing, and I was sure of it. I was not dreaming. They were the footsteps of more than one person. I was glued to the spot. No one knew I was here, so who could these people be, and what might they want? The footsteps came closer, and then the doorbell rang. They were outside, standing in front of the door. There was nothing to do but deal with the situation. I quietly opened the kitchen drawers, one after the other, until I found a long, sharp knife, and then laid it on the shelf opposite the door, within easy reach. I turned on the outside lamp and looked through the peephole. I could see a man and a woman, but I could not make out their features in the weak light. I opened the door slowly, and before they could utter a word, I said, "Everything okay?" The woman answered in a cheerful voice, "Good evening, sir." I kept looking at them. The man then spoke in the tone of someone addressing an old friend. "We are very sorry to bother you, but we have come to see you on a serious matter." "I don't know you." "Actually, you know us very well." She smiled as she said this. I noted the confidence in her voice and responded, "Excuse me, I think there is some mistake." "There is no mistake," she said, laughing. "You know us well." The situation became even more curious. The man smiled and said, "Don't tell me you don't remember seeing us before." I started to feel afraid. I was having an odd sense of déjà vu. The man and woman did, in fact, look familiar, as if I had seen and spoken to them before, as if my previous meeting with them had lain buried in my memory and then suddenly resurfaced. In a loud voice, I said, "I don't have time for riddles. Who are you and what do you want?" With disarming calm, the man answered, "Are you going to leave us standing at the door like this? Let us in, and then we'll speak." The strange thing is that I obliged. I stood aside and let them in as if I had suddenly lost control of my own actions. I could hear what I was saying and see what I was doing as if I were another person. They came in slowly, walking around as if familiar with the place. They sat next to each other on the sofa, and I could finally see them in the light. The man was in his late 20s, large but not flabby, olive-skinned, handsome. The woman was just over 20, beautiful, winningly lithe of figure with fine facial features to match, glowing brown skin and beautiful green eyes. Her elegant outfit was straight out of the 40s. The man was wearing a lightweight white sharkskin suit, a white shirt with a starched collar, a tightly knotted blue tie.